Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2. I believe we're here. Welcome everyone. Another episode of Golf Cart Garage. I am Tim. We are live right now. Everything's showing good on my screen, so let me know how my mic is, if you don't mind. Thank y'all for coming. I see everybody's joining the room. I can actually see when you do a thumbs up or a like, it flies up my screen. It's pretty cool. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. David Irwin. Hi, Gearheads. Hope everyone's doing well. Stephen Kuhn. What's going on, Stephen Kuhn? Gary England in Indianapolis. Yeah, see, I see the hearts go up when you hit a like. That's pretty neat. It didn't always do that, so it must be something new that they changed in YouTube. Gary England, 51 in Indianapolis. Gene Hansen, 44 in Michigan. Louis Borghese, hello to all, wishing all well. David Irwin, it's a great day here in Florida. Irwin, I'm sorry. 71. Nice. Boy, it's a beautiful day here, too. Joe Foster, Taco Tim, good day. 53 in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Supposed to reach 70 today. It was 70-something here yesterday. Yeah, it was crazy. And today's about 60 for a high. So we're all over the place still. It doesn't know what it wants to do here in central Arkansas. There's Larry. It's overcast and 65 here in beautiful Cabot, Arkansas. Yeah, he's in the same area as me. Hey, Tim, Keith in Palmetto, Florida, sunny and 74. What did I do there? Okay, Galactic Technologies, Daniel, what's going on, man? Greg Elliott, hello, Tim and Friendly Carters. Today's weather is Bristol is Virginia is 54 presently and sunny. Next 10 days, highs 50s and 60s, lows mid-20s. Have a great week. Thank you, Greg. There's Rhea. Good day, Tim and fellow Gearheads. Shout out to Rhea. She helps me do this every week now. Kurt, hey Tim, really getting nice weather here. 73 and getting warmer. Good riding after all. I refilled my tires, lost a lot of air during that cold spell. Yeah, it'll do it. That cold will bring down your battery also. It'll bring that down, and it does affect your tire pressure for sure. Haven Speckman, hello Tim and fellow Gearers. 80 in South Texas. That must be when I ask about the mic. Larry says, sounds good, sounds good. Okay, cool. Cobra Black, you're hitting my speaker. Come back cloudy and warm in Texas. What's up, Cobra? Sounds great. Audio is good. Audio good. Bart Gilman, hey Tim, 56 cloudy in North California. What's going on, Bart Gilman? Rich Eastman, hello guys. Toasty 40 in Machipongo, Virginia. Ice on the bay is melting nicely. I think we finally got rid of all our ice that we had. I mean, it hung around for so long. Okay. Kevin Salyer, what's going on, Kevin? 43 and sunny in northwest Indiana. Time to go karting. David Irwin. Give Tim a like. On my Easy Go golf cart I wired up the... Joe Bob, on my Easy Go golf cart, how do I wire up the batteries? Well, the best way to do it would be start with a correct wiring diagram. So tell me a little bit more about your Easy Go golf cart. Do you know what year it is? Mike Irvin, 62 and sunny in southwest Indiana. Jerry Kelly, hey Tim. William Flowers, 78 and sunny in Goshen, Alabama. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoy this content. Give it a like and a subscribe to us if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up. Whatever you do to interact actually affects the algorithm. The the more interaction it has, the better the algorithm promotes it, and it's just it's a compounding thing. But we have almost 17,000 followers on YouTube at this point, the last time I looked. So that's great. Today, if you're watching us today, it is Tuesday, the 9th of February already. Joe Bob, I don't know, it's 36 volt. Well, that could be a wide range of easy-goes. Let me ask you this, is the body metal or plastic? The body of the golf cart, is it metal or plastic? And that'll narrow it down. Oh, what did I say? I said the wrong date. Yeah, it's the 10th. I'm sorry. It is Tuesday the 10th. I actually have it written down wrong on my paper here. I've got a set of cheat notes, and I wrote it wrong on my cheat notes. Yeah, so it is actually Tuesday the 10th today, and we are live. If you can't remember what day it is Taco Tuesdays. Every Taco Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time we do this, and we talk about golf carts. Okay, we'll get started with the regular questions. I do have some picks this time. Bruce, if you're in the room, say something, because I got some of your picks queued up. All right, Joe Bob. Most likely, if it is metal, your cart is either a 95 model or older. If it's an easy go, it's going to be 95 or older. Now, we have to determine whether it's a TXT or a marathon. Now, that's going to be a little more difficult, Joe Bob. Let me figure out, because you could have a metal body TXT for like 1.5 years. I'll figure out how to ask the question in a minute. How can I ask the question, guys? The guys who know. Your battery configuration. Is it, when you look at the batteries, do you have 3 in a line in the back and 3 in a line in the front? In other words, just they're sitting there in a line with each other, the back 3 and the front 3. Or do you have 3 on one side and 3 on the other side? That would be how I would ask about the battery configuration. 17.9 subs. Oh, okay, cool. Bruce Pionic from Westfield, finally above freezing at 38. I got your pictures queued up for today, Bruce. I'm glad you said something. Rich said, that's okay. Yesterday I thought it was January 9th. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with the regular questions. Now, while I wait on Joe Bob's answer to that question. Barclay, 55 here in Indianapolis. 3 on one side and 3 on the other. Okay, well that would mean that you most likely have an easy-go marathon, Joe Bob. Now, this video will be out, Joe Bob, it'll be out long after we get through today, so you can go back. You'll be able to go back and look at this video. Even after we stop the live, you can go back to YouTube and find this video. And there is a wiring diagram for an easy-go marathon. It's on the screen right now. So, I mean, that's a good wiring diagram for an easy-go marathon. Now, if it's within certain years, and even if it's not, it's going to be really close. So you need to look at your manufacturer's code or your serial number plate. should be a serial number plate somewhere on the golf cart around the passenger side glove compartment, and see if you can find the manufacturer's code, not the serial number, the manufacturer's code. But both of those numbers are going to be in the same place, and one of them is going to say manufacturer's code. The last 2 digits of the manufacturer's code is going to indicate what year your cart is. Cobra Black, hello fellows. What's a good price for a 2008 Club Car Precedent rolling chassis with controller and harness, just no batteries? 2008 Club Car Precedent. That's not a bad year. There's nothing inherently wrong with a 2008 that I can remember on a Club Car Precedent. Rolling chassis with new. It would, to me, the question would be, are you sure everything is fine with that car? You know, before there was a price put on it. That would be the first thing I'd want to know. In other words, it's almost like I'd want to put some batteries in there, even if you weren't going to just borrow some, just so you could drive it around and check everything. It would be hard for me to put a price on that. What does everybody in the room think? No batteries. 2008 Club Car Precedent. Has there been a detailed discussion about the good, bad about using solar panels to charge cart? There's a guy in our area selling them, saying they will always keep your cart 100%. Who is it that told me that just recently? There's someone in the chat that talked to me about it, said that they haven't charged their cart yet because they have a solar panel on the roof and they've been running over a month or something like that. I'm going to take that wiring diagram down, Joe Bob, but like I said, you can go back after we're through with the live. You can go back and look at it. Number 1 is where we're at on the questions. Number 1 of the regular questions. It's from Pat. I have a 2012 Club Car Precedent IQ. Okay, so apparently I2, Excel, apparently that's going to affect the price also there. Who was asking me about the price? Batteries were removed from lithium conversion and they were going to be but scratched the project. Okay, so you know it's good. See, it's an Excel system apparently, because this question from Pat says a 2012 is an Excel. So it did. Oh, you said 2008. Okay, so it's not Excel, so that's good. To me, that's good because it's special parts for Excel system. So that would be a good year to me. So if you know everything's good, you just need batteries, cart's in decent shape, looks good, it's going to be close to $2,000, isn't it? Easy, I would think. Depending on what all it has. I mean, is it completely stock? Would be my next question. Bruce is here. Okay, good. I just had to unload a skid of batteries we just got in. Perfect timing. Just 2012 Club Car Precedent IQ Excel, just put in batteries and charge completely. Now I get nothing when the key is on and the pedal is pressed. Is the solenoid bad or could it be something else? Well, it definitely could be something else. There you go, Joe Bob. If you found the manufacturer's code and the last 2 digits were 89, then you're correct. That car is an 89. Now, does your battery configuration look anything like the diagram that I showed? Because if it's not, it's going to be really close. Only missing the front cowl and batteries. Well, it's worth, I'd say it's worth anywhere between 15 to 2,000. That would be in my area. Now, in everybody else's area, the numbers are going to be all over the place. So where are you located? Are you East Coast, West Coast, one of those? Because the further you get to either coast, the prices go up. Except Augusta. When you get to Georgia, prices go down. Okay, you're Dallas, so I'm going to stick with the numbers that I said, between 15 and 2 if everything is fine. Yeah, when I moved to Arkansas, I was only like an hour away from Dallas. My golf cart shop was, before I moved to Arkansas. Number 2. Oh, I didn't answer number 1, did I? I just put batteries in charge complete. Now I get nothing when the key is on and the pedal is pressed. Is the solenoid bad, or could it be something else? It could definitely be something else. Now the first thing, and this is the most common thing that I see when people get through with a battery job and their car doesn't run, is that if you don't do it a lot, and a lot of people, they never done a battery job in their life, and it's their first one, all right, their first battery job. So they don't think about the obvious things like other people would that do it on occasion. So the most common thing I get is they forgot to put the run tow switch either back in run, or they forgot to do it, forgot to put it in tow when they did the battery job and did some arcing, and then they blew something up during the battery job. That's the most common 2 things. So just make sure your run tow switch is back in run would be the first thing I would say. And keep in mind that car does have, yeah, that's the 2012. That does have a diagnostic port. So the fault codes, it could be read by a club car dealer. You know, if last case scenario there, worst case scenario, you have to take it to a dealer and they can read the fault codes. But at least now you'd know what to ask the dealer. You'd say, I need to get my fault codes read. I'm getting nothing out of my car. So that way you'd have a better, you don't want to get scammed. So that way you have some more information. Cobra Blackwell, I think I got a winner. Thanks, good buddy. All right, cool. Yeah, in that area. I mean, I've bought them in that area for less. I got some good deals when I was there in that area. And I've bought them for more, but they had, a little more stuff on them. Joe Bob, you don't see the video? Are you not seeing me on the video? One more thing on solar panels. Does it help extend the life of lead acid batteries? Well, that's what I was asking to see if that person's in the chat. I can't remember who it is. I want to say it might be, is it Harry Fike? Are you in the room, Harry? I was just emailing with them just the other day, and they told me they haven't charged their cart in over a month, and they use it every day. Kurt says, Joe Bob, hit save. Well, answer me, did everybody see the wiring diagram on the screen that I put up on the screen? Maybe it's my end. Maybe it's, I'm just assuming it's showing up like it does on my screen. Okay, everybody says yeah. Okay, cool. Joe Bob, it should have showed up. Everybody's saying that they could see it. So you might have to go back and watch this video after the recording, after we leave out of here. But even if I saw but didn't pay attention. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be there forever, Joe Bob, after we finish here. So you can go back and pause the video, like after we get through being live. I mean, we're live right now. I mean, I could get a pizza delivered or anything could happen here right now. So Once we are not live anymore, the video, the recording of the video will be posted up to YouTube, and you will be able to go back and look at that wiring diagram. Because you'll be able to hit pause button and see it. I mean, I can put it up again to let you take a look at it, but I can't leave it up there for the rest of the show because it blocks my pretty face. See? Do you want pepperoni on that pizza? Of course. What's a pizza without pepperoni on it? Rich says, skip back to the diagram, pause, do a screenshot, and then come back here. You could do that too. Joe Foster, Hat Day and Hat Day. We're running really low on the hats, but we still have one. That must be Dave at Golf Cart Garage posting. You're not one of those guys that put pineapple on it. No, I do not. I do not eat fruit on my pizza. Now, I do know people that do, but that's not me. I'm more of a traditional guy, somewhere between pepperoni and supreme. Anything in between is good too. But I do draw the line at pineapple. I've tried that. I've actually tried that before. I mean, it's all right, but I don't know why I would want pineapple on my pizza. Yeah, that's my wife, Cat Free there. She does like pineapple pizza. But, I mean, she's a girl. So, lots of things different about her than me. I do like pineapple and jalapeno together. I know that might be weird, but I don't like that on a pizza. I don't like that combo on a pizza. Italian pineapple pepperoni all the way. Jerry Kelly, we'll do it, Jerry. Do you got my email, or do I got to put that up here? Let me see if I can find it. There, Jerry. I'll leave that up there in case you don't have it. I'll leave that up there for a few minutes. Send me some pics of your golf cart. Send me some pictures of your dog. I'm a big dog guy. Dave says it sounds more like a margarita than a pizza. But I'd try it if we hang out. Yeah, I'd try it. Now, I don't always eat tacos on Taco Tuesday. I don't always do that. If you eat tacos every Tuesday, I think it sort of takes away from the specialness of the day, you know, being Taco Tuesday. Because Tuesdays come around very fast. You know, they come around like almost like every 7 days or so. So that's pretty quick. William Flower says no olives and no fishies. So you're talking about anchovies? Yeah. See, I like it all, sometimes. But jalapenos and pepperoni, you can't go wrong with that. Fishing Man Ryan, I have a 20-year-old E-Z-GO TXT, so that means it's about a 2006 with new batteries. How long should the charge last driving around? Well, I can answer that. I can tell you this. On a 20-year-old TXT, that's, like I said, about a 2006 model, something like that. If your batteries are good, if it's a good set of batteries, you shouldn't even need a battery gauge on your dash, you know, like a lot of guys look at. You should be able to drive the thing around all day long and not even worry about nothing. Use it for an entire day. I mean, you should literally be able to drive about 35 miles. Now, 35 miles of stop and go stuff, like if you're working in the yard or doing, that's a lot. That is a whole lot on a golf cart. So if you're running your batteries down in one day, then you might have a battery issue. Every day is Taco Tuesday if you try hard enough. The older we get, the faster these Tuesdays come. That's what I'm talking about. It won't be long and they'll be coming around every 3 days instead of 7. Which question was I on? Oh, number 2, I think, is only where I'm at. Rich Eastman, I recently mentioned a tempo battery that I put in our 2018 club car. After the first charge, it got to 58% and then went right to 0. I charged it and ran it down to 32 when it did the same thing. Timgo, not tempo, so Timgo battery. We're talking about a lithium, Rich, or lead acid? I charged it last night and I'm measuring the total amp hour I get out of it as we speak. Okay, so, well, see, lithium companies, they don't like it when you pull them down. Normally they say, you know, that they don't like you to pull them down real far. Does that Timgo battery say it's okay for you to get it to pull it down that low? Especially 32%? Number 2, do you know if somebody makes spacers for the front coil springs? I put 12-inch wheels on and now they rub the fender when I turn or hit a bump. I really don't want to buy a lift kit because the back is fine. I just need a little more clearance in the front. The car is a G1. Okay, thanks for the help. I don't know of, I know what you're talking about. Okay, a G1 has coilovers in the front. Now, over time, I know this too because I have a G1 and it's got the stock 30-something-year-old coilovers on there. Over time, that front end gets lower and lower. I guarantee you it does. It gets lower and lower. So it may fix your problem if you can't figure out how to modify something to actually put an extension on your existing coilover. It may fix your problem just by replacing them. Just replace your coilovers, you know, with an aftermarket coilover, because those are, you know, have been pounded for 30 years. Your front end could be sagging, is what I'm saying, and likely is. I have an inverter connected to it with a separate shunt. You should be able to get the full 100 amp hour out of it. So yours should be safe to pull it. I guess you're answering. So you're saying yours is safe to pull down that low. That's what you're saying? I was just pointing out that the lithium manufacturers that I'm familiar with, they don't advise that. 20 amp steady draw, 2 hours, and 3 to go if I get full capacity out of it. I'm hoping the BMS needed to calibrate itself. Well, that's where I was going to go next. It sounds like you could be having the BMS drop out, you know. I tell everyone to charge whether you use 10 minutes or 10 hours every time. Well, with today's modern day chargers, they figure it out as soon as you plug it in, so you can't really mess up. So that's what I'm saying. You can use your car all day long and then just plug it in when you get through with it for the day. Don't even worry about it. If everything is working, you shouldn't have to worry about your batteries. If everything is working like it should. my shop was, our property was, we had some acreage. So I had acres and acres that I could use my golf cart on. And I could use it all day long with a brand new set of lead acid batteries. Could use it all day long and pull trees and pick up feral hogs, and everything I was doing there I used a golf cart for all day long. Now everything was working right, and it never left me stranded because of dead batteries. But when I got through with it for the day, boom, I charged it at night and it was ready to go again the next day. That's what I was saying. If you're having to charge your cart in intermittent cycles during the day for some reason or another, then you've got a battery issue. D-Max, what's up, brother? I plug my car in every time I use it. Lithium conversion. Today's modern chargers, especially modern lithium chargers, you're not going to hurt anything. They've taken a lot of the worry out of it. And now with lithium, they've even taken the having to water your battery worries out of it. You don't even have to worry about that anymore. So it's real easy now. Like a lot of people that are still hanging on to their lead acid ones, they're fighting battles now that they don't really have to anymore. You know, and you're fighting a battle that you just want to for some reason. It could be, you know, obviously it could be a money issue. I understand that for sure. Okay, Dave says there's no G1 shocks at Golf Cart Garage, but we have spacers. Or try Yamaha Golf Cart Division for shocks, maybe. Well, the way I understood his question, I understand that you can get a wheel spacer and that's going to push it out. What he wants, the way that I understood his question, I could be wrong, he wants a spacer that the shock mounts to down at the bottom, so it's going to raise his car up. If he pushes it out, it's definitely going to still rub when it hits the fender. So that was just the way that I understood his question. D-Max, how's your testing going on the lithium battery? Man, I hadn't been doing hardly any testing lately because we just got out of this stupid ice storm, you know, here in Arkansas. I have been frozen in for over 2 weeks up until just recently. But so far, so good. Everything is fine. But thanks for that info there, Dave. Does Golf Cart Garage offer a lowering kit for the Club Car Precedent? I do not think that we do yet. I know that there are kits like that out there. I don't think that we have that yet, a lowering kit. Rich Eastman, when I had lead acid and AGM, I charged after every use. My other club car with lithium gets charged when the shunt shows about 20% left. It lasts weeks with my limited use between charges. Yeah, here I did have some stuff in my notes about this, about the lift kit. Wheels, to Dave's point, there's a couple of things that you could make adjustments there. If you can't find something to make your G1 shock rise up a little bit, you know, by replacing it, or wheel spacer can space your rim out. Or you can get offset rims with positive or negative offset. You might experiment with that and see if you can get the tire. Well, I guess my question would be, if you can get the tire up under the fender well a little more, would it still hit and rub? That would be my question. Sorry about that. Dave says we only have rooftop lowering kits, but not golf cart lowering kits, but just rooftop lowering kits. Because a lot of people, A lot of people like that. They like to lower their roof. Number 3 is from Andy. I managed to damage one of my rear suspension leaf springs on my DS and need to replace them. I have a pair of spare ones from an electric cart. These look the same as the ones on my gas cart, but they have different part numbers. So just wondering if you can tell me what the difference is. I know that if you purchase some stiffer springs, they will fit both gas and electric. So why are there different ones for stock springs? Is there any difference? I studied both and they seem to flex the same. The only thing I can think of there is that they don't flex the same, because a gas cart, Andy, actually weighs less. That would be the only thing I could think of. That may explain why they have different part numbers. It'd be difficult to determine if they actually flex the same just away from the cart. Sir Walter says, why not use solid spacers that keep the coil form collapsing? Insert them in spring. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You insert them in the spring and it actually will spread the distances out between the coils of the spring. Yeah, that's a good idea. You could do that, and that would raise the front of a G1. If the spring is worn, you know, that would definitely help. So yeah, that's a good idea. I got a question about the Rock 6-inch lift kit. Are the brass, are you saying, are the kingpins brass? Can I order stock OEM club cars for it? I doubt it. I doubt OEM club car is going to fit on a Rocks. What are your kingpins wearing out? If they're brass, that's definitely considered a wear item if they're made of brass, for sure. Joe Foster, great for positioning cart and toy hauler RVs. Oh, you talking about for the roof lowering thing? Yeah, that's probably why probably why that's available now, is because there was so much request for that. Sir Walter says, right. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, I can understand why it would make it stiffer too when you insert them in the spring, because you're losing that collapsible joint. Every one you put in there, you're losing that collapsible joint there. But it would solve his problem, you're right. But I can't find the Rocks brand. Dave, are you still in the room, Dave? D-Max is asking about the kingpins on the Rocks 6-inch lift kit. Kevin Salyer, the difference in the spring could even be the grade or stiffness of the steel, which you can't see. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It'd be hard to tell away from the golf cart, you know, without any weight on it. We talked about that, you know, how we talk about what can you do with your lithium cart, your lithium converted cart, to make it ride better. I haven't heard anybody say anything about that, and I haven't actually checked into it, but it is something that I would want to check into. Like, of the same model cart, but the gas version, is it the same leaf spring or not? Or is it a lighter duty leaf spring on a gas cart? Because that might, you know, help a little bit. You can just put gas leaf springs on your cart. I never got a direct answer about that. D-Max, you see what Dave said? give a little more information, D-Max, about the Rocks 6-inch lift kit. And we can check with Rocks. Tomo Picarella. I'm currently running a 2015 Precedent, too many roots or dips on our course, so it always seems like the ride is pretty rough. Any recommendations on new karts that may offer the smoothest ride? In completely stock form, they're all going to be pretty close because they're all designed to handle a certain amount of weight. And because of that, they all are going to have similar stiffness in suspensions. Now that's where you start getting into aftermarket products and lift kits and taller tires and things like that you can do. Adjusting air pressure in your tires, going with a taller tire if you possibly can. But it would be, you're not going to drive a brand new golf cart or any year golf cart of any major brand, and then of the same year go drive the competitor, and then the same, like I'm talking about the top three, E-Z-GO, Yamaha, and Club Car. You're not going to drive a 2020 E-Z-GO and a 2020 Yamaha and a 2020 Club Car, and one of them is going to ride 10,000 times smoother than the other. That's just not going to be, you'd be knocking out. Now one may be more comfortable, it may be more ergonomic for your build or your fit, or you may feel more comfortable in it, but as far as riding smoother, that's not going to happen. So you can change that by, like I said, changing your tire and rim configuration. If you got low profile tires on it, that's causing you more of a harsh ride, especially going over roots and stuff like that. Dave, D-Max is talking about lift kit 506. Stephen Kuhn says on E-Z-GO of certain years, the gas cart has 1 inch shorter spring than the electric. Well, see, that's not going to work. He's saying the two springs he was looking at were exactly the same. So yeah, 1 inch shorter might not work. You'd have to look at that. You're going to have something out of a line if you try to do that. Where am I at? On number 3? No, that was the DS guy. At D-Max, all Rocks list for its replacement bushing kits with urethane bushings. Shoot him an email and we'll check with them to see if they can help. All right, you got that, D? "12-inch tires?" I think you mean 12-inch rims. Yamaha does have independent rear suspension now. So I wondered if that truly gave an improved ride. Hard to tell on asphalt by a dealer. I totally agree that it's going to be hard to tell. But yeah, if I was buying a new kart, there is no doubt about it, I would drive that Yamaha with independent rear suspension. I would check that out. See, because Yamaha is on top of their game when it comes to vehicles like this. There's no doubt about it, because they have many, many years of experience in 4x4s and 4x4 four-wheelers, side-by-sides. I mean, it was just a no-brainer that they could make a decent golf cart. I mean, that was, and the fact that they come out with one with independent rear suspension, that's not surprising either, because, you know, that's exactly the same type of suspension that all of their off-road vehicles that they've been making for years and years have. So if I was going to, I'm not, you know, any more pro Yamaha than I am Club Car or E-Z-GO. There's just a lot of things I like about Yamaha, and one of them is the fact that they are an off-road vehicle company. Yeah, 12-inch, if you've got 12-inch rims, Toma Picarella, then that means you're most likely, if your car is not lifted with 12-inch rims, then that means you're running low profile tires for sure. So that is going to give you a harsher ride. So just that little adjustment there, you could go to 8-inch rims. That may help you. And then you could back off your air pressure like Dave says there. But if your tires are already low profile, you don't have a lot of adjustment in air pressure, you know. Oh, Toma Picarella says, no, it's actually higher profile that occasionally rubs. Okay, so you got a taller tire than 18 inches because stock tires are 18 inches on a golf cart. You know, that's their, so you went with, you've got some 12-inch rims, so your total circle is going to be higher than 18, so it's actually rubbing. Well, still, you're running a 12-inch rim. See, I can assure you this, if you ran an 8-inch rim with an 18-inch tire, you'd have a lot of room to adjust your air pressure. Joe Foster says, stay out of the woods, hit the ball straight. Number 4 is where we're at. And I'm probably going to end up shutting it down early because we're running, if I went over everything, we would be running long, but that's fine. Absolutely fine. Number 4 is from Eddie. I have a 1980 or so club car that had one of the leaf springs break in the front. Took a leaf spring from an old snowmobile I have and replaced it. That worked great, except the front is now 2 to 3 inches higher than the back. Is there a way I can beef up the suspension in the rear? Okay, you just want to, you said beef up. I'm assuming you meant raise the suspension in the rear. Well, look at how most golf cart lift kits are designed. The rear of the lift kits, even different golf cart lift kits, is pretty much all designed the same. It's just a block. So you may be able to fabricate your own block, you know, and put on the rear to make it match the front, that, you know, what you've done to the front now. But the rear of the golf carts lift kits are fairly simple. Now, of course, the block is a cut and CNC'd into a certain shape in order to fit, you know, just right on each individual year. Joe Foster's R switch to Frisbee golf. Dave likes Frisbee golf. D-Max, 8-inch rim on 23 is even better. Probably would feel like a boat. Yeah, I can tell you 8-inch on a the best boat filling golf car I've ever driven or I ever built myself was 8-inch rim on 22s, but it was 2-ply 22s. 2-ply tire. Now that's a very, very cheap tire, you know, 2-ply. But those on 8-inch rims, 22s, on a lifted marathon, oh my God, because a marathon's already smooth to begin with. They actually ride pretty smooth, to me, those old marathons. But you put a lift kit on that and 8-inch rims and 22s, it is just like a floater through the woods and everything. I don't know why more people don't do that. Because I hear so many people complaining about harsh rides, but I never hear anybody say, oh man, my golf cart floats like a boat through the woods. I don't like it. You know, I've never heard anyone say that. Never complain about too soft of a ride. On what PSI? Well, that's what when you got an 8-inch rim on 22s, you've got a lot of room that you can play with your PSI, but you don't really need to if you use a 2-ply. That's what I'm saying. 2-ply is kind of a thin tire, so it's kind of squishy to begin with. It's not the most expensive tire in the world either. It's not going to hold up great. I mean, you might have to get used to getting a plugs set, you know, keep on your golf cart with you. When you run over a mesquite thorn or whatever and it pokes a hole in your tire. Louis Borghese, if your rear axle is above the leaf spring, move it to below the leaf spring, it will raise the rear by that distance. That is true. That's all it is, the purpose of the blocks. You know, you do that on some golf cart lift kits, you know, because of the block. You put the block in between to lower. What you're doing essentially is you're lowering the rear axle, which raises the cart. You know, that's essentially what you're doing with the lift in the rear. The same thing in the front. Somehow the spindles are dropped down and to raise the front of the cart because they drop down. And then you put your tires on and it raises it up. You're now higher. Number 5, this is from Jude. I have a new cart being built right now. It is lifted with double arm McPherson suspension. I want to make this thing as smooth as I can off-road. See, I told y'all before that a lot of times these questions, they come out in they're arranged in a category. Apparently this category today was about different suspension category. Wanted to make it smooth as I can. I live on a golf course that's very bumpy, not well maintained, and I drive little kids around. Want to upgrade suspensions, maybe air. Not really needing to lower it, but it wouldn't mind the ability to just want faster speeds, like 20 off-road to smooth out a little. I thought you would have the most knowledge on the subject, so any input you may have is very much appreciated. Well, we've already given a lot of input on this question so far. It's not the lift kit, you know. Unless the lift kit comes with a whole nother set of springs, and not all of them do. You know, some of them do. Some of the more expensive lift kits do actually come with a longer A-arms and springs and shocks. You know, but those are some of the real high-priced lift kits. Most lift kits don't come with anything having to do with your springs, and your springs is what's taking all the hits, and you know, as far as roots and rough ride. So the only thing you can do is adjust your air pressure. With that being said, that's when we start talking about smaller rims, taller tires, and vice versa, and the difference that causes in your ride. So not a lot you can do with just changing lift kits, is what I'm saying. It would be cool if they had, nowadays, if they had a product, some type of air pump system where you could raise and lower the air pressure in your tires on the go, on the fly. That would be kind of cool. That way you could go from asphalt to off-road. You could drop it down a whole lot, you know, before you went off-road. And then before you got on asphalt, you would want to pump it back up. Otherwise, you're going to have an unusual amount of tire wear, you know, on asphalt riding around on low tires. That wouldn't be good. So you'd want to air them back up. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop the regular questions there today. What do I got as far as announcements go? We're still running $25 off chargers until February 14th. So all chargers are $25 off. I mean, oh, let me show Bruce. I forgot. Almost forgot Bruce's picks. Where's my let's see? There it is. Let's see some of Bruce's picks. Bruce, you must work at a golf cart shop, right? If you're still here. Anyway, I've got some before and after pics. Looks like the pictures that Bruce sent me were from a golf cart shop. Okay, yeah, he does. He works at a golf cart shop. All right, cool. All right, this is a GIF, so it should start moving. That's actually the after picture. Here's the before picture. There's a Easy Go 95 or so DCS. I can tell that I see the emblem on the side, and that's what they turned it into. And if you look in this picture, you can see the Eco battery installation, you see the Navitas controller, and that's the paint job and everything. That's not even close to being the same cart at all. Yeah, that's a nice cart now. Nice Eco lithium. Turned into that. Turned into purple plum crazy. In that purple paint, Bruce, are there actually lines going across there like that? Or is that some kind of reflection from something? But or is there actually lines doing that? I'll let that play here while I'm reading the comments. No, that's the reflection from lights above. Oh, okay. Well, it looks cool. Is what I was asking. It actually looks like it was meant to be there. It looks kind of cool. Very nice cart. No, that reflection from the light. Nice job. Butcher box just showed up. Got to stock the freezer. I'm out. Y'all have a good week. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for joining us today, Dave. It's a lot of pearl in that paint. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. That paint job. Yeah, that's a nice build. That you talk about one extreme to another, and the fact that you did that to a DCS. You started with a DCS. It's one of my most hated cars of all time. Is an Easy Go DCS. It caused me more trouble than any other cart out there. But that's a huge difference. Everything you did there. You took a, I don't want to say, nah, I don't want to dog them. I don't want to dog them too bad. Easy Go may come knocking on my door or something, but not a very nice cart as far as I'm concerned. A DCS. Not it's from electrical and mechanical. Well, from an electrical point of view, mechanically it's fine. From an electrical point of view, not a very good system. But you changed all that with that Eco and the Navitas and everything. So yeah, that's a nice cart now. Bruce says it even looks better in the sunlight. I bet it does. I bet it does. Okay. Put my coupon. This is still good, I believe. $20 off, $20 off orders, $250 or more. That's 20OFF, Tim, 20OFF. And then I told you that there's $25 off on all chargers right now. Thank you for sending me those, Bruce. Trying to find my email. I never can find my email. I need to put it in a better spot. Y'all send me some pics if you want me to feature your golf cart or golf cart builds on the channel. That's 00timfreeman@gmail.com. It's on the screen. Bruce says it's a lot better now with all the upgrades. Yes, I would imagine. Just the battery and the Navitas, that pretty much cures everything right there. It's got a plumb quick motor in it, or what? What's the deal with that? Or y'all did you hit the stock motor with that Navitas and the lithium? Still a stock motor. Okay, cool. See, I have never had a problem with motors, but I've had a problem with the, obviously battery issues and controller. So you changed the bad parts, that's for sure. All right, guys. That's going to be about it, I believe. I'll run it till it blows. Yep, that's the way to do it. Yeah, give that a Give that Eco and that Navitas, give it a good testing. All right, guys, I guess since I figured out earlier, since y'all pointed out that I had the date wrong, that today is the 10th, I guess the next time I will see you will be on the 17th. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, and I will see y'all on the 17th, Taco Tuesday, 12 noon Central Time. Everybody have a good week. Thank you for joining us again today, by the way. The garage is now closed.